Hey, welcome again to another edition of Weird News and Wacky History, a look behind the scenes of what's been happening through the years. I'm your host, that old history dude, Pastor Roland Moss. Are you looking for a job? Available to start right now? Then join me for some very unusual job opportunities, and hey, I'm for hire. Freelance workers are common in the modern workforce. Using a particular set of skills that they've mastered, they themselves choose who to work for and for how long. At the end of a prescribed period, they pack up their desks and head off to the next job and employer. If these independent workers seem like corporate mercenaries, that's actually not that far from the term's original meaning. The earliest appearance of the concept is found in Sir Walter Scott's 1819 novel Ivanhoe. A feudal lord says about the army he's assembled, "I offered Richard the services of my freelances, but he refused them. I will lead them to Hull, seize on shipping, and embark for Flanders. Thanks to the bustling times, a man of action will always find employment." In the feudal system, a knight was attached by fealty, by allegiance to one lord and one master. It was for him and him alone that he fought and, if necessary, died. But a new group of independent warriors sold their fighting skills, as characterized by their jousting javelins, to the highest bidder, becoming freelances. The concept of freelancing was common from about 1000 AD, even if the word describing what they actually did wasn't coined until the 19th century. Need mourners in a hurry? Just hire some. Great Uncle Albert just died at age 107. Having outlived all of his peers and much of his family, the few survivors want a nice service, but who's left to come? Sounds like an ideal time to call professional mourners. These expert grievers date back to ancient Egypt, India, China, and the Middle East, and are mentioned in both the Old and New Testaments of the Bible. This was traditionally done by women with no children, since it was inappropriate for men to cry in public. Then as now, having many mourners at your funeral was a sign of respect. Today, these folks still function in their low-key way at funerals. Known professionally as moirologists, Greek for those who speak the part, when I Googled professional mourners near me, I found two within 20 miles here in rural Pennsylvania. After carefully researching the deceased, they come to funerals prepared to offer kind words, to cry softly, and to help the family in the grieving process. Prices range from $35 to $500 an hour. The best-known professional mourners are the Arlington Ladies, an anonymous group of women who ensure that no serviceman or servicewoman is ever interned alone in Arlington. In a world not taught to grieve, these folks offer a unique service. Maybe you need a whole family for an emergency. You can hire them too. Money can't buy you love, but in Japan it can rent you the next closest thing. Need a family or some close friends for a wedding, funeral, or other event? Then simply call Family Romance LLC, a company started by Ishii Yuichi in 2009. With a trained staff of over 800 actors ranging from infants to the elderly, you can hire any surrogate relative or convenient associate that you may need. Ishii knows the business from the ground up. He was hired to pose for 8 years as a 12-year-old girl's missing father without her ever knowing the truth. Another time, he stood in as a father for a boy to get him into a prestigious school. Stand-in perfect fathers, boyfriends, grandmothers, and friends can only have 5 families at one time. Clients can order their relative or friend by filling out an order form specifying hairstyle, fashion sense, glasses, beard, talkativeness, and so forth. The going rate is around $200 for 4 hours plus expenses. So what if the person who hires you never reveals the truth? Family Romance is prepared to sustain the lie as the decades pass, for as long as necessary. Not surprisingly, real relationships suffer because they feel like work. Or maybe you just want to take your date to that hot new Broadway show but don't want to stand in line all day. No problem. Just hire someone to do it for you. We wait around a lot. Timex survey reveals that we spend 38 hours each year stuck in traffic. Then there's the 6 months of your life waiting in line. Wouldn't it be nice to get someone to actually wait in line for you? Are you heading for the Big Apple soon? Hoping to snag some hard-to-get Broadway tickets or a box of those delicious cronuts? Then say hello to the same old line dudes. With the slogan, "We wait for your wants," this dedicated team of long line lingerers will stand in place so you can go and do other stuff, like maybe stand in some other line. But bring your wallet. The cost is a minimum of $50 for 2 hours and $25 per hour thereafter. Wait in line all day and night? No problem. That'll be $600, please. They wait in a one-on-one basis. A couple needs to hire 2 line standers. A licensed liability company with the state of New York. They're a legitimate business providing a recognized service. Some folks use the service so much that they ask for favorite line waiters by name. Having received extensive recent media coverage, why wait in line when you can call the same old line dudes to stand in line for you? That's all the time we have for this edition of Weird News and Wacky History, a look behind the scenes of what's been happening through the years. I'm your host, Pastor Roland Moss, historian, author, and speaker, wishing that all of your news may be just a little bit weird.